Okay, so that's class 4.
Hold on.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that.
About 2 years ago, we had a hypothesis.
Oh, I get it. No, Spot Me Up should go there.
Teaching roboticists choreography would help them make more nuanced decisions in terms of human-robot interfaces.
Spot Me Up should be in class 4 because that's the one where they use the dog thing to be Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. No, I think that actually does make sense in class 4.
We had a sense that dance breaks robots.
Welcome to Choreorobotics 0101.
We created a 12-week course.
Every one of the classes here in Ashamu is going to have some kind of movement component of some kind.
That ingratiates dance theory.
Let's start by walking around the room in no particular order.
With advanced technologies of robotic movement and expression.
I just want you to go ahead and walk around and make observations about you in the space in this time.
It's the most bananas course I've ever had a hand in. And so in working with Stephanie Telex and her phenomenal lab at the computer science department, we started thinking, like, how can we create a course that simultaneously contends with emerging technologies of robotic motion planning, literally how robots move.
Setting a certain foot pattern and then like adding arms on top of the foot pattern and then adding head to the arms to the foot pattern.
And choreography, which is the art of making things move.
Like if, for example, like they do the twerk, but we want the head to be doing something specific while we're doing the twerk.
And choreography was an ideal hotbed to test robots' abilities to interface with humans in the most complex arenas possible.
What kinds of dances do you think the robot would be like good at?
This class was an intra-university effort.
I'm curious your thoughts on the governing kind of logics and tensions here across choreography and what we're understanding is computation.
That spanned the Theater Arts and Performance Studies department.
Welcome to our first lab day.
The computer science department, the Center for Research and Choreographic Interfaces, which is an initiative of the Brown Arts Institute.
It's really definitely meant to be kind of a collaborative experience for us to kind of learn together.
Eric Rosen was my co-teacher for this first year. He's a graduate student here at Brown, and he was instrumental in the assembling of the robotic technologies and pedagogy in play.
If I use this joystick and move left and right, I can rotate it.
So I think one of the things that keeps coming up in all of your thoughts is what it means to actually concretize a way of being.
Madeline was the project manager for the class. She put together all of the different technologies and bodies in space that needed to be assembled to actually have a class.
As you cross people in the space without saying anything, I want you to go in for the high five of your choice.
So when we were planning the course,
As with all things in this class, it's not just about doing cool shit with robots.
we started to think about individual artists,
It is about understanding the politics and implication of making robots do really anything.
choreographers who are already working across this Venn diagram of emerging technologies and political concern.
There's a great deal of colonial and militarized violence in Puerto Rico.
The one artist that we knew we had to work with
It's a deep stack of very, very hard.
was Janita Castro.
Hello, Janira.
Janita is a movement artist who not only works with emerging technologies of all sorts,
at the intersection of performance and technology and social practice.
but she's specifically interested in how the politics of these technologies shape what performances are possible.
And so what that means is every single project looks very different from the last.
I mean, the general idea was to make sure that this pick can sort of access every point.
And so for this class,
A lot of the questions around all of these pieces for me is about self-determination.
Janita asked us to create a robot capable of playing a guiro.
It is a gourd that's been dried and has these score marks. In Puerto Rico, and only in Puerto Rico, does it have a comb. Players kept saying over and over again, the instrument is the comb.
The ways that the comb interfaces with the gourd, with the guiro,
This operation over here is secondary to this.
Incredibly complex.
So it's complicated what they're doing.
All sorts of nuance and geometry.
There is articulation that you've created with the guido already that does mimic what they do, actually.
So not only was this like an incredible technical challenge, musical instruments already, they are their own technologies with their own histories.
It serves as the foundation of much revolutionary music.
The guiro is a specific instrument relative to a Puerto Rican anti-colonial context.
So the way you got news across was that you would sing it.
This is a musical instrument that has a politics,
This is how the news spread, essentially.
just like the robots that we're deploying.
I'm having this very complex relationship to this instrument.
And what Janita was planning for us was to juxtapose the histories and politics of this musical instrument
What is the power and self-determination questions?
with the histories and technologies of a robotic apparatus.
This is all still happening to me. It's not answered that this instrument brings up.
And the results were astonishing.
We wanted to just start with the score for all of us to engage in it in however we understand it. Will someone be willing to read it for us?
In a manner that is distinct from everyone else in the circle.
I'm in a performance studies department. My job is to imbue in my students an appreciation of the political complexities of performance.
Now, who wants to go first?
And robots are political objects. They exist in relation to politics and economy and surveillance and violence and hegemony and institutions in all sorts of really complicated ways.
The floor is yours.
And so this course was a way to, yes, make robots dance and do all sorts of cool shit with robots, right? This is another opening, I think, to have a series of really challenging conversations about the role of technology in our lives. It's not just for performance, it's not just for warfighting. It exists across these planes, always and simultaneously. That complexity, that ambivalence, I think, is where this course lives.
Oh man, do I have follow-up questions?